Hey everybody, it's Brian Troe, and I'm coming to you from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing. And today is Monday, December 7th, and I've got your fly fishing forecast for you. So, hope everybody's doing well, enjoying a little bit of Christmas spirit. We've got everything decorated here at the store and woke up this morning to our first little bit of fresh snow on the ground. So, nothing major, it's already kind of burning off, but kind of nice to see. Things are cold. And getting a little bit of fresh snow is kind of nice to start the season off. So anyway, today I'm going to do things a little bit different. We're going to go through, just like I normally do, the different types of streams and where to go, but going to start to spend a little bit more time on techniques. Okay, so as we go into the winter, there's going to be a little bit less focus on places to fish because you get a little bit narrowed down on quality places to go fish. And we're going to work on how to spend your time on the water. So, and as always, call us, email us with questions if you have them. So, kind of going around the horn, we've got the big rivers are starting to drop a little bit, the Shenandoah and the James. So, if you're into muskie fishing, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. It seems like right when the river just gets right, we get another big storm and the gauges go up. But either way, the rivers are on the fall, and we'll be out hopefully muskie fishing in the next week or so and bring you some more reports on that. We're still kind of leaving the mountain brook trout streams alone. We're going to get into a time of year where folks will start getting after them again. And if you choose this winter to go out brook trout fishing, you just got to make sure that you avoid wading or avoid certain spots in the water to allow those little fry to develop and grow and not be messed with. So, but certainly they're off their nest. The brook trout are done spawning. Back to feeding occasionally throughout the day. The windows have gotten smaller. The days are getting shorter. We're getting close to the solstice now. So you got to pick your time wisely. Do some Christmas shopping in the morning while it's cold and the fish are kind of lethargic, and then focus your time 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. These are the better hours for the day. That goes for all the trout streams. So the state's still been out busy stocking some streams. For the most part, the majority of our delayed harvest waters are open and ready to go for the year. Typically, the Department of Game does not tell you subsequent stockings, meaning they'll let you know in the fall when they've opened it up for the year, but they're not going to tell you if they put more fish in the winter or the spring because they don't need to. They don't want to attract attention to those fisheries where you're supposed to be just catching and releasing. So anyway, head off to some of the delayed harvest. We've had some good reports from Back Creek delayed harvest and North River delayed harvest, and these places are a lot of fun to fish. As the temperatures drop and we get some more snow in the mountains, if you're coming from a good distance away, just check in with us or check your forecast because things are quite different at 3,000 feet. You could show up and there could be 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground. So just kind of plan ahead. Focus on the spring creeks. That's where a lot of our focus is. That's going to be the warmest water of the year moving through the winter. Our groundwater temperature here in the valley is 55 degrees, and so everybody thinks that is cold in the summer, which of course it is, but almost just as important is it's going to be really warm in the winter. So when you're walking along a creek and it's in the 20s like it was this morning, you'll see places where steam is rising up. It's not steam, condensation's occurring, and what's happening is those warmer spots, those warmer springs are showing you where they are, okay? Anywhere you see lush green or Eladia in the water or along the banks, those are spots you want to focus in on, okay? Because the more conditioned the water, the warmer the water is, the more active the fish will be in that immediate area, all right? So stream thermometers are really important to have. Observe, try and find the warmest water around, and then try and fish in the warmest parts of the day. That's going to help you catch more fish through the winter. Swinging streamers is super important. As I mentioned last week, dead drifting streamers under an indicator can be really effective. It's not something a lot of people do, but it works really, really well for that fish that just wants one big meal, but doesn't really feel like chasing. I have an approach to winter fishing. I call it gritting out the water. For those of you who've gone on trips with me, we really get methodical in our fishing. Sometimes you'll get to a nice run and a wave train, and you may not even know you're doing it, but you'll run your nymph through there 15, 20 times. All right. Each cast should have a purpose. All right. Cover the water left to right, right to left, bottom to top. Okay. Each cast has a purpose, means the fish may really like what he sees, but that fish may not be willing to swim more than 3 or 4 inches right or left or up to get your fly. And so it's your job as the angler to drift that fly to their mouth. If all that trout has to do is open and take your little pheasant tail jig in and close, then that's an incredibly efficient way to eat, and that's gonna be your best chance for catching fish this winter. So make sure you're at the right depth. Tungsten jig flies, can't say enough about them. It prevents you from having to load up with crazy amounts of split shot. It gets you tangled less, and you get hung on the bottom less. So tungsten jig nymphs for getting down. There's always people who prefer indicators, and there's plenty of people who don't. I'm kind of in between. I always find that tight line fishing is a really effective way to fish and get down, but you have to have the right conditions and circumstances for it. Water speed is slow. Water's really low and clear and glassy. The further away from your fishing you have to do, the harder it is to get the nymph to actually drift along, and that's a good time to perhaps go ahead and throw an indicator on. So pick your battles when it comes to tight line nymph fishing. There's places where it just makes tons of sense, and there's places where it's quite a challenge to do. So grid the water out, be at the right depth, fish at your warmest hours of the day, find those springs and key in on them for your warmer water where your fish are going to be willing to move around a little bit more. There's a huge difference in 48-degree water temperature and 38-degree water temperature. It's going to make a huge difference in how that fish moves around, how that fish feeds, and what they key in on. So anyway, we'll have some more tips for you next week. If you guys need more places to go and fish, let us know. Just on a quick note, on Mossy Creek, the browns have shown back up. They're back out and eating again. People are doing quite well on Mossy. So it looks like the spawn is officially wrapped. Those fish will come off hungry, and it's not a bad idea to get out there and fish just because the water temperatures are so much warmer than other places. So anyway, I'll see you all next Monday. Thank you.